Good morning. I've been driving the GTO pretty much all week. It still needs to be tuned. What I wanted to do is just give my little review of some gauges that I recently bought for it. Glow shift gauges. I know some of you may have heard of glow shift gauges. Before I bought the gauge, I was doing a little research and trying to get some reviews, and it was pretty much mixed reviews on how the gauge worked for people. So instead of getting I needed two gauges. I needed a oil pressure and I needed a transmission temp. So I decided to go with a JDM gauge for the oil pressure and a glow shift for the trans temp. Now with the glow shift gauge, I like the way the gauge look. I like the lights on the gauge, and when you switch the car on, it does a sweeping motion, in which I really like too, because it's kind of like the Corvettes and things like most GM vehicles that does the sweep with the gauges when you first switch it on. So the glow shift gauge did that, and for the first couple of days the gauge seemed to work really good. I really loved it, but noticing after using the gauge for a while, I noticed that the gauge started getting stuck on, like, for instance, 220. It'll get stuck on 220 degrees, and it'll stay on 220. I can switch the car on and off and it still stays on 220. As you can see in the video, not only does this gauge sticks, this gauge fluctuates. It fluctuates by at least 40 to 50 degrees at any given time. And just like I said, as you can see on the actual video, you can see the gauge fluctuating. This is on my way home from work yesterday. I decided to just show a video of the actual gauge, and this is the gauge right here, and it's fluctuating all the way around. It's going completely off of the scale, and it's just not good, especially for something like the transmission temperature. The reason why I put a gauge on the transmission temperature for the first place is because, like I said before, you know, I have a 4000 stall in this car, and it tends to heat the transmission up pretty fast. So the transmission temp gauge is really important to me, but the glow shift gauge keeps fluctuating and is not very accurate at all when it comes to that. So I just want to give a little review on what my thoughts were on the glow shift gauge. Just like I said, I did some research and there's not a lot of reviews on it, so I just wanted to give mine. So far, the JDM gauge, the one I use for my oil pressure, is working perfect, and it's a good thing. And to me, the oil pressure is a little bit more important than the transmission temperature. So the oil pressure is spot on. So JDM gauges are great. They don't have the sweeping motion like the glow shift, or the nice colors like the glow shift, but they do seem to work as advertised. Just wanted to show you a little video about the glow shift gauges. Stay tuned for more GTO footage.